There's an old proverb that says, "You can't catch a wild horse by running, but nobody who is not running will catch the wild horse." That proverb can be helpful in a lot of different situations, but I think about that in terms of peace in the world. It is my intention, my work in this lifetime, to influence this world toward peace. And I invite you to join me in that intention. In this case, peace is kind of like the wild horse. It seems impossible and too big, and maybe just not in the nature of this world. And I think it's not so much a disagreement with that, because I get there too. But if we don't begin by at least believing and intending, of course we'll never. Everybody who's not believing in peace, for sure, is never going to experience that. If you start off with that, if you stop yourself before you start, then of course that will never be realized. At least you have to start running. And you probably will never catch it, but at least you're running. And that is an adventure in and of itself. It's kind of like, if you want an apple or some other kind of fruit, you have to plant the tree for it. Now, just because you planted the tree doesn't mean everything's going to go smoothly and the tree will grow and you'll get your harvest. Lots of things can happen between the seed and the harvest. But for sure you'll never have an apple if you don't at least plant, right? So, the thing about peace in the world, thankfully, is it is not an all or nothing proposal. And you can have peace walking with you. And the first place you can have peace is with yourself and your body, and learn how to live in that peace so that you are always taking that peace with you. And if you can do that, if you can find that peace with yourself, your world is already peaceful because you're carrying your world with you. And it's not that you won't be dismayed or sad about other things that you see in the world, or because definitely there'll be plenty of moments like that. But having sadness is a great part of peace. I mean, peace can have all the emotions. Peace can be real in real time. It's not about perfection. But if you bring that with you, if you start with yourself and create a peaceful world for yourself, not based on what's going on out there, because what's going on out there isn't what makes the peace, it's what you're carrying in here. And then as you interact with other people, your significant other, your children, other family members, your friends, and as you go into your neighborhood and your community and into the larger world, whoever you meet and touch and serve is going to get a taste of your peace. They're going to see something. They may not always know what it is. And they'll be blessed by that. And some of them may even get a bright idea in their head to start looking for it and start creating it. And in terms of doing, creating a global peace once and for all for everyone, again, I choose to believe that that is totally within the realm of possibility, if for only reason that gets me running. That's the running I'm doing. I'm going to choose that belief. And even though it will require some effort and willingness, humility, and imagination on our part, I don't think it's as hard as people think that it is. There's actually only a few things that we need to be able to do and do well. And some of, I'm not going to outline that right now. But it's hard, but it's not as hard as you might think to carry peace with yourself and then create peace on a piece of plate. Create peace in your neighborhood. That land of your neighborhood is peaceful. And if we are to be able to do it as a whole world, it's already being birthed. I know all kinds of people who are already doing this. I'm like late to the game. I'm like I've always had it in my heart, and I'm still, even now, mostly talking about it than doing it, except for myself. I'm working on myself and my close family. But there are people in this world who know exactly who they are and exactly what they need to be doing to create peace, and they are doing it. They are doing them themselves. They are doing their work, and if you look for it, you will see the peaceful world that is already being put together. And it may not make the front headlines of the news, but it's already happening. In fact, it's already done. And all you have to do, it's already done. It's actually already done. That's the grand secret. It's already there. All you have to do is find it and be a part of it, because it's already there for you. And the peaceful world. So if you don't like the world you're living in, the space you're living in, the person you're living in, you can do something about it, and you can get a hold of the peaceful world and be a part of it. And I don't know everybody in it. Like, there's not a directory of who to call. But when I meet people, either in person or I come across them online, which is how a lot of our world is connected now, I know who I'm looking at. I can hear the things that come from their mouth. I'm like, that's another one. That's another one. And I get really excited. It's a lot of young people, but it's a lot of people of all ages. A lot of people who are older, who have gone through several versions of this world, and they're using everything they learned from that to keep making this a peaceful world. So I have lots and lots of hope, lots and lots of belief. And I'm running. I'm going to catch the wild horse, or have a lot of fun trying to reach out just for the tail end. You come with me.